Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Lawrenceville, Georgia, the host site of the 2017 A.I.I Softball Championships. I'm Matt Mahoney alongside John Morgo here as we take a look at the Day 2 action here, as after a 23-and-a-half-hour rain delay, Georgia Gwinnett resumes their contest with Fisher, and the Grizzlies took a 3-1 lead into today, and they would explode for 19 runs in the first game. GGC would go back-to-back solo home runs. Brashante Darius gets the first. It's her 10th home run of the season. She now has 69 RBIs on the year. Sydney Wilhite will follow things up with her 7th home run of the year. Goes Apo Taco to right field. Wilhite would not be done. She would finish the day 4 for 4 with 4 RBIs and 3 runs scored, including not one but 2 doubles, and then not one but 2 home runs. The freshman really steps up for Kat Eilenberg, and again, the Grizzlies explode for 19 runs on the day. They move forward in the bracket. Taylor Hansis picks up the condensed 5-inning complete game victory, giving up just 2 hits and 1 run, striking out 8, as the Grizzlies would move forward in the bracket, and that would set things up for Game 2 as Edward Waters would take on Talladega in the first game for either team.
Well, Edward Waters, the 2-seed, Talladega, the 3-seed, but it's the 3-seed Talladega Tornadoes get on the board early, all courtesy of Taylor Espinoza. That shot right there was a grand slam. That scored 4 runs in the third. It goes alongside an RBI double she had in the first, and Talladega was up 5-0, and the Tornadoes were cruising through most of this ball game. But however, Edward Waters wasn't done. This is the top half of the 6th inning. They get things started with this triple by Brashelle Keys, going all the way to the wall. Again, Keys on third base with a triple, but still with a 5-run lead. Talladega is feeling pretty good in this situation, but give Edward Waters credit. This is a team that runs on emotion, and they get it from every source. Like Tiffany Solomon, she'll hit this double to the wall. That scores Keys, makes it 5-1. But still, if you're Talladega, you're not worried. Although now you're getting worried. Here's a single by Brashella Keys. Keys' sister jumps over the glove of Jamara Thomas, hops all the way to the wall. That scores 3 runs, makes it set 5-3 in this instance, as Brashella Keys does an inside-the-park home run. Doesn't really count because he got that error involved. Still 5-3. Not worried? Well, okay, now you're really worried. That's a solo home run by Alyssa Fonda. 5-4. And this, as I said earlier, Edward Waters' team that runs on emotion. You can just see how their team is just getting involved. But Talladega still ahead? Well, not anymore. After loading the bases, it goes back to Brashelle Keys, and she clears them with this triple all the way to the wall. She winds up this game 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, and coming from really nowhere, Edward Waters gets on top 7-5, an easy 7th inning, gets the victory for the Tigers here, as this is the final out to the shortstop Eaker over to first, and again, a big victory for Edward Waters. Moves them into the winner's bracket game with Georgia Gwinnett.
Yeah, that game also took place today. Quick turnaround for Edward Waters. And for GGC, it's Aubrey Cox in left field, still in a couple highlights, makes a running catch in foul territory to keep the Grizzlies lead, and then a big momentum shifter. Cox catches the fly ball in left. No sacrifice fly here. Releases the cannon and throws out the Tiger trying to score. Grizzlies would propel that 3-0 lead off the right hand of Chelsea Palazzo. She would go the complete game distance and strike out a career-high 11 batters, walking just 2, scattering 3 runs and giving up no runs. Meanwhile, Nikki Cook at the plate fits the bill as the A.I.I Player of the Year, hits a inside-the-park home run to center field. It's her 3rd inside-the-parker of the season. It would add the 4th run of the contest for GGC, and that's all Chelsea Palazzo and the defense would need, as the victory for Chelsea Palazzo is her 15th of the season, and the Grizzlies would advance to the championship game tomorrow on Saturday with a chance to hoist that trophy high to the sky. Who will they face? Well, we had to start with an elimination game between Fisher and Talladega.
And how would Talladega come back after losing that lead in the first game? Well, Brianna Huff, if anything to say about it, that a good catch over there in left field, a nice defensive gem. Now, here is how Talladega scores their first run on a wild pitch, as Shiloh Gonzalez, who earlier doubled, makes the first run of the ball game. Talladega picks up 2 more on this play after a faulty tag to third throw home, didn't get anybody there, and the Tornadoes get a 3-0 lead I'm sorry, 2-0 lead as we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning, and Fisher picks up their first run of the ball game. Moving ahead to the top of the fifth, Talladega picks up 3 runs on this little bloop single that's going to drive in. That's going to drive in Taylor Espinoza after Rodrigo Lane gets hit by a pitch. It's Shiloh Gonzalez again with a RBI single. Gonzalez, a very big component of the offense. She would wind up going 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs, and that made the score 5-1. After Fisher picks up 2 more runs, it's 5-3, and this is the final run for Talladega. 6-4 is the score. That's another RBI single for Shiloh Gonzalez. 6-3 at this point. Fisher would get 1 more. 6-4, and Talladega would slam the door in the 7th inning. 6-4, sending the Fisher Falcons back to Boston, Massachusetts.
The 4 games get put in the books here today. Day 2 of this A.I. softball championship. We update your bracket. It looks a little something like this. It'll be an elimination game between Edward Waters and Talladega at 10 a.m. on Saturday. The winner of that contest will punch their ticket to the A.I.I. National Championship with the second automatic bid out of the A.I.I. Meanwhile, George Gwinnett awaits the winner of that contest. Championship game set to take place at 12:30, and we'll have all of that covered for you right here on the Grizzly Digital Network. John, as we wrap things up from day 2, final thoughts.
Well, that rematch between Talladega and Edward Waters is going to be very interesting. Talladega, they had that game in the palm of their hand, but Edward Waters scored the 7 runs in the 6th inning to yank it away from them. Talladega's got to be looking for payback against Edward Waters. We'll see how that match fares tomorrow morning.
You can watch it all right here on the Grizzly Digital Network. For the latest information, log on to AIIsports.com. For John Morgo, I'm Matt Mahoney signing off here from Lawrenceville, saying so long, everybody.